Alright, welcome back to Hibou's live streaming events here. So we're moving on to Pennsylvania. And yes, I did have Pennsylvania highlighted because I don't know how to spell Pennsylvania. I had to copy it into the stream title. Okay, so let's clean up, I guess, to start and obviously get Pennsylvania in our run context. I believe Pennsylvania currently, at least at the time when we were preparing for these streams, Pennsylvania's website was broken. So we may have to mess around with some stuff to get that working. All right, so we gotta go fast because I do have something after this. Configurations. Oh no, no, cancel. Hey, Pennsylvania, look at that. So get our tests running and it module installed for the first time here. All right, so Pennsylvania is not going to have any old 2018 or 2017 or earlier stuff, so that's good. That's faster. Let's see what we got in here. We have a contract. We have a couple of rates, and it looks like they both opt out if the food type is basic. How is that possible? The income tax rate is related to the company? Doesn't seem possible / correct. Also, I know we have more decimal precision than what we have seen, what we've used in our our rate module. So that's visually is going to be strange. It shouldn't matter for the actual usage. But the PA withhold rate, that doesn't seem right to me. Because it's locality based. So we have different rates for different, so this is really a PA withholding default rate or something to that effect, and different locales have different rates. That is still the current, so let's look up our PA unemployment wage base, and the default for new employer is 3.689, and we have no wage base though? Oh, cool. They've got a employee Didn't write this module either, for the record. So let's see here. So there's an employee and a company rate, and this is the correct for that. The taxable wage base is apparently 10,000 for 2019. Does not apply with regard to unemployment tax on employees. So an employee always pays this tax. So that's something to keep in mind in case we find that it is implemented otherwise. All right, so let's go and grab some rates from California, maybe. So we're gonna do the no update probably on this one. Okay, rates. All right, so let's find CA and we'll replace it with PA. And then we're going to call this one, let's split this file out. So we're going to call this one unemployment, obviously. Oh no. Oops. Could have gone with that with the string replace too, but I'm done. All right, so this first one's going to be company. Oh. Wow. This is new. We're going to have a naming collision on these. So Pennsylvania, we'll put company here. Maybe we can actually just do ER and EE because of the fact that those are so different. But hey, we'll go ahead and list it out, company here, and we'll copy this down here. Something unique to Pennsylvania. I haven't seen in any other states. It may not be unique. Obviously that's not going to be ETT though. And that's not going to be ETT either. Oh, sorry. Redo. And option R? No. And shift R? No. Shift command Z. Yeah, all right. Sorry, I thought that I couldn't rename that because of the fact they were already loaded, but that's not the case. All right, so our default rate is going to be 3.6890, 3.6890, and if this doesn't take the decimal precision, we'll fix that in the base module. So for the employee, it's 0.6. And for the income tax, yes, Pennsylvania income tax rate. Oh gosh. That's the name of the code for it for the most part. So that should be okay. And it's 3.07, or at least for that year was, which means that the tests are probably going to be really weird for this as well. All right, so there's not going to be a wage limit for sure, and it's 10,000 for both of these. Well, actually, sorry, not for the employee portion of it. So we'll need to make, or hopefully have two of those already. Okay, so let's do some of the refactor that we've been doing. All right, so 2019K. Payroll views, gonna change. All right, okay, so let's start our refactor. Let's open base over here, and we can open rules right here, and we can hide this and this, and start doing some refactors. So we don't care about the contribution registers. We start caring about the categories though. So we're going to do automatically wondering if I potentially should refactor that. Maybe next year, I don't know. Maybe like that. Such a strange convention here. So this is for the wages, and I note that there's no second one for wages for the employee unemployment portion, and since there's no cap on that one, well, I guess then we would just always just go based on basic pay. Okay, so that'll work. So what we'll do is we'll come down here and we'll rename this one. So it's going to be EE colon US dash PA unemployment. Okay, on to the rules. All right, so we've got a wage, and this is going to be wage. This is going to be based on the contract food type. All right, so let's redo this. So this is going to be wage ERPA. Nowhere here, nowhere here. Right, here's that $10,000. So we're going to need that rate, which has that $10,000 on it. And that's going to be rate equals get rate. And this is going to be a strange one because it's going to be ER US PA on imp. Strange for our perspective anyway. And we're going to use that limit here. Going to need this generally everywhere except for income withholding. And this one will just be true. Okay. Seems fairly straightforward. So we're probably going to need year-end rates. Well, we definitely need the rate. So let's grab that. All right. So this is the employee, USPA unemployment. And that's going to be negative rate.rate. And this is going to not be PA unemployment wages because it's not capped. So this is really going to be categories basic. How we deal with the different rates will be an interesting solution. So this is going to be EE UFS PA. I believe, right? Hold on, where's our rates? Okay, that makes more sense. All right, well, this is interesting. So we're going to do result rate equals rate, negative rate, and our result is just going to be equal to our wages. And I just need to provide the same little bit here. Okay. Now we need to redo this name. All right, so let's take a look at the tests and convert those before we rerun them. Oh, I just realized that this is for 2018, meaning that what I pulled up that I thought was unchanged is actually... Okay, so as far as I can tell, everything's the same. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny tax. It's so simple that it only has a single test because there's no allowances and there's no whatever going on. It's pretty funny. All right. So we really just need to do this here. So this is going to be ER or wage, ER, US, PA, unimp. I believe, I don't really remember. Employee is going to be cats basic times the dot. hard-coded calculated withholding. Alrighty. So this is gonna be EE USPA Inc. withhold. This is gonna be ER. Okay, good chance this will pass. It's relatively short, which is good in its own way. We don't need this import. See what we broke. Probably broke some stuff. We've got an error, that's for sure. Why is the debug self debugs true? Okay, that's fair. So let's go look at the categories in base. So the wage ER. Did we use this anywhere? Try again. They probably don't really, so their rate stuff is broken for 2019 or not. They only have the new unemployment stuff, and it looks like it's exactly the same as the old stuff. My guess is that because of the fact that they assigned that rate, or rather the presumably Nexus or something equivalent to that, is where the rate comes from. Okay, so what do we have? We see a single fail. Let's look at our stuff. 416667. Okay, I mean, that doesn't look so bad. Let's see what happens. So we've got a very far off one where we've got in our testa, we have USPA unemployment wage is going to be equal to salary, which seems right. Let's go look at our rules for our calculation for the wages. $10,000. Okay, so this probably indicates that there's not enough decimal precision, and to test that theory out, I'm going to take that percentage and just hard code it directly into the rules. So let's go to the rates where we have this lovely number right here. And we'll go into the rules where we use it, which is when we get the rate right here. And instead of doing this, I'm just going to comment this out and do exactly the same thing. See how it goes now. Still fails. It's closer, much closer. Pretty sure this passed before the test. So I see that the rate for the employer contribution portion is exactly what I'm expecting it to be. So let's do 4166 times 0.03689 53.71 approximately. So the calculation is fine. 153.71, 153.71. Let's go back to our test. Wait, what? That's not even the number. Hold on a second. Three, 6, 8, 9, 0. 3, 6. Okay, so 890. Okay, so it was changed. It was changed. Let's go to the source code real fast here and grab the old default rate, since that's going to be the one that we're actually trying to go for, and see if we still have a precision problem. Okay. So 3.6890. 6890 was the old one. Let's try the test. 6785. 6785. All right. Well, I mean, it's not what the default was before, so I don't know why we were testing it. Other than maybe it was a hard-coded test, or it was a test in the document or something like that, which definitely happens. So we'll leave that alone, I guess. And what we'll probably do, and we know the 7.1 is accurate, so let's take out our hard code and see if we still get the 7.1. What about additional withholding? Oh, well, it's probably 0 for this particular one. Anyway, let me look at the rules though. We don't have. used to just be wages times the rate, which is already a bug because we have the concept of additional withholdings, and it definitely wasn't, and it's an integer. Why would it be an integer? The default is going to be 0.0 anyway, so why bother? Wasn't subtracted, but we know what it should be subtracted. Okay, so let's get our test working. So we're going to change this out for the actual default rate because we can. Then I'm going to the unemployment. Okay. Additional withholdings separate. All right. So now we should be accurate, but I want to remove the hard code from here. This isn't even where that was coming from. I'm sorry, hold on. What is going on now? I think I'm fighting myself a little bit because I didn't realize that there was probably two separate issues with different numbers. One was withholding and one was the unemployment thing. So we still need to go and try to fix the unemployment thing, which is where that... Oh man, I put this in the wrong place. So this is actually the rate that we want to hard code. It doesn't matter because it works now, which makes sense. So we do have enough precision. We don't need to worry about that. Rate. Okay, so now with the additional withholding, it's going to be hard to do it through a rate. It might be easier to make a whole separate rule that just goes into the same calculation or whatever, which is definitely doable. So let's go ahead and do that just for the additional, since the old rule didn't have additional at all anyway. What was that? 45, 146 then. And our category, it's going to go in the same category. Okay, so it'll work there. So let's extend our tests, and I suppose we should do this in the 2019 version. We need to add that to our final as well. Should pass. We'll add a second test in the 2019 that tests are additional as well. this test and debug either. Didn't have any, obviously. Okay, so 2019, they didn't change any of the rates. Let me see if I can find a new withholding. Oh, I guess because they don't do a table or anything. They do a flat percentage and then potentially an additional withholding. So this should pass, and then I'll add a second one. So I'll just copy this. 2019. Do we need to, maybe we should just add something to this here. We'll just add an extra like $5 even or something like that to that contract. So let's do that. So we'll do contract. Okay, so we will say that we've got a additional withholding up here. Additional hold equals 5.0. So then it's going to be minus additional withhold, and this is going to be additional withhold. And then we don't need this down here, which would have been wrong anyway because it wasn't negative. And let's test that. Not ideal, but it will get the job done. It's probably about time for me to restart Docker globally. Ultimately, in macOS, Docker, I don't know if it leaks file accesses or whatever, but that tends to be what I notice goes wrong first, is that it consumes too many file pointers and it dies. But things get slower and slower. Generally, the more times you're restarting containers, so the more tests we're running, aka creating and destroying containers, the worse we're like leaking out of that context. So typically once or twice a day, I have to restart Docker just to get things back. All right, so that runs and passes. So let's clean that up and commit it. Notably, this test still doesn't test the one that the rate that's set to 0 actually. So I should do that before we leave. Specifically, this one here. This. Oh no, sorry. Oh, that must have been in the last. That was in the last one. I was like, oh, if this stayed 0 the entire time, then we're gonna have a problem. And then it stayed 0 the entire time, and I didn't think we had a problem. That, all right, good to go. copy the commit message from some of these. All right, so that brings that to a close, Pennsylvania to a close. So if you enjoy content like this, please subscribe. I know that this content is dry, but we're going to be trying to do more interesting stuff over some time, including more modules and more migrations and stuff. So until next time,